For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. With a premier facility that gives fans what they want, how they want to see it. And with a Saturday doubleheader, a Sunday Cup Series race, and great deals on kids' tickets, the views will get better all weekend long. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Dive into good savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonzal Pool and Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this 33rd Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at Bonzal Pool and Spa. Every day made better. Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Your Kasasa cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 locations in Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Hi, I'm Barb Bettine, President and CEO of the Lincoln YMCA. On behalf of the Y, I want to thank you for voting us Lincoln's Choice for Best Youth Sports Programs, Best Youth Activity Programs, and Best Preschool. These categories represent so much of what we do at the Y, and we're honored to serve thousands of families in our community each and every day. With summer just around the corner, I invite you to stop in to one of our 4 branches and learn how the Y can be a part of your family. The Y Outdoor Pools open May 27th, and we can't wait to see you.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills has hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Wellness located at 7th and Superior.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street, Annapolis.
Gather round. This is the Ticket Water Cooler.
This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clearing.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Now, 93.7 The Ticket, theticket.com. Technical snafus.
That's right.
Things happen. Technology isn't always trustworthy, and sometimes things wanna go kapooey on you really fast. So we're dealing with a couple technical difficulties here at the station, and due to that, we are not on the air on terrestrial radio. We are able to stream, though, now after a little bit. So we are back. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, channel 951 on Allo. If you have Allo cable, we're on all of those avenues. But I don't believe that we are on the radio or via the stream on the app or on the website quite yet. But we are here, and we are going to give you some sports talk. This is the Ticket Water Cooler. Again, 93.7 The Ticket. You guys can join in. 402-464-5685, the Honda of Lincoln hotline, the Starter Heyman text line. It is me, Rico, Bach, over here with me as well. Bach, how are you after short captain show?
Yeah, it's a little bit interesting. Still had some takes left over from the captain show, so that's good to roll right over into the Ticket Water Cooler. And again, once we get it, things situated, we'll be on air. But until then, we can stream. So as much as you can downplay some of the technology, at least some of the technology is helping us out. So we've got plenty to talk about here. And I wanted to start off with Black Friday. Of course, the NFL announced this morning or yesterday that the Jets and Dolphins will play in the NFL's first ever Black Friday game. Will be at MetLife Stadium on November 24th with kickoff slated for about 2 o'clock Central Time. Now, Nebraska, of course, plays Iowa, and in a tradition, Nebraska always plays on Black Friday. Of course, they've been playing Iowa since they joined the Big Ten, unless Sean, of course, ruined that for a year or two. I can't remember. He tried to, at least.
Yeah, well, we had Minnesota for 2 years.
Yeah. So that was at least the plan. I think COVID took over, and so I don't know. It was just kind of weird. Anyway, it's interesting now because the NFL is also taking over Christmas Day, which used to be kind of an NBA type of thing.
Ridiculous.
Now taking over Black Friday, and then in the NFL, they don't have to really think about that. Who cares? Take over all the business you can. You're the top, eyeball getter in the world as far as entertainment goes. At least as far as the United States. So I don't blame the NFL for doing this. I understand that they've been trying to expand their league to basically be as year round as you can, and anytime you can get ratings. To go ahead and slide it in there. I'm a little bit disappointed that it's Jets Dolphins because that's a heck of a game. Which at one time, maybe 5 years ago, maybe last year, I suppose, we've just been like, oh, whatever. But now you got Aaron Rodgers and of course the Dolphins have been good. So I guess I want to kind of gauge the audience, and I don't know if what kind of people are thinking, if they're frustrated by this. I mean, I have been frustrated with the Sean Eichhorst stuff, right? When he tried to move it off Black Friday. I've been frustrated to Nebraska, Iowa kind of being relegated to BTN, and thank God for BTN. I love their programming, but I like a national audience on an ABC. And that's how it used to be growing up. And so I guess my tenor has changed a little bit, though, from, the NFL or this, getting mad at them, to just kind of saying, this is where Nebraska's kind of put themselves. If Nebraska had, we always kind of talk about different teams and can they live it? Like, is Nebraska, Iowa, when they first announced, is that going to be special enough? Is that going to get enough interest? And Iowa's done their part. Nebraska hasn't. And that's why Nebraska kind of falls. And now this year will fall yet another spot on the Black Friday viewing list, which is sad for me.
Now, think about it this way, because I just thought about this right now, right? The NFL has their Black Friday game. You have people who are just NFL fans. They don't care for college football. The only time they care about college football is on draft day when their team is making a pick, right? Let's say that game, whatever game it is on Black Friday, is bad. It's a blowout, or it's just not fun to watch. People are watching football. Maybe they think, you know what? Since this isn't the only football game that's on, let's go check out a college game. Let's go check out Nebraska, Iowa that's playing at the same time. Could this be, in a roundabout weird way, a ratings booster for a couple of college games, just because, you have that NFL game going on and you have people who enjoy professional football more than collegiate football, but after that game is done, or the game isn't very good and they still want to watch football, but they don't want to watch, Dolphins Jets anymore because the Dolphins or the Jets are getting blown out. could they switch over to a BTN or whatever channel Nebraska or whatever other college program playing on Black Friday that day is on, and maybe start getting themselves more interested in college football? Because on a Saturday during NFL season, the NFL fans are just like, oh yeah, whatever is happening is happening. I'm just waiting for tomorrow. I don't know if there are truly fans who don't watch college football and just watch the NFL. I'm sure there are people like that. But if that happens, if there are people like that on that Friday, could that be something where they're like, hey, it's more football, let's watch it?
I think that it could. And I think if you're thinking like ratings wise, I don't think Nebraska's going to get much of a ratings boost. I also don't know. Like, I know Nebraska's a brand name school, but if Nebraska and Iowa's stuck on BTN, I think the BTN ratings are going to be what it is regardless. I don't think you're going to jump around. For what it's worth, in college football that day, you also have Oregon State, Oregon, TCU, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, Texas, Miami, Boston College. There's a lot of good football on that day, which has also been a change from back in the day when it was kind of Nebraska was kind of mapped out as the game for Black Friday. Nebraska, Oklahoma playing on Thanksgiving, whatever it was the situation that year. But that kind of used to be the tradition. And again, Nebraska's, I don't want to say brand, but I mean the power that they are, and certainly the brand, if you compare it to the late 90s, isn't what it was. So I mean that's already kind of taken a hit. I could see maybe that being affected or changing a little bit. Something that's on ESPN, something that's on ABC, BTN. I think you're going to get the Nebraska audience.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost regardless.
Maybe some other Big Ten people,
a couple of other Big Ten people, but mostly the same probably type of number one way or the other. I don't think the BTN rating is going to change. And for what it's worth too, that Nebraska-Iowa game, I believe, I don't know if that's changed, but at least from a couple of years ago, was the best BTN game ratings-wise that they've ever had. Because, they don't get their marquee pick of the games. And in certain years, including last year, there was a Big Ten West title, if you want to call it that, on the line.
Yeah, BTN's not getting Ohio State and Michigan, so that would be one of the better games that they get. But I didn't know those other college games. Now that you mention it, that Oklahoma TCU and the Texas Tech games are probably going to be widely viewed because those are the two final regular season games in the Big 12 for Oklahoma and Texas.
Yeah,
like that is also another thing that's going on there, where that could also hinder Nebraska's viewing, because I'm obviously going to watch Nebraska, but at the same time I want to see what TCU and what Texas Tech put on Oklahoma and Texas as their final opponents in the Big 12. Maybe there's a little bad blood there, maybe something happens. I mean, I feel like that'd be must-see TV in those two games also. But I had my year of being upset with the NFL when they decided to play on Christmas Day,
take over Christmas Day,
and take that over from the NBA, and then you see the ratings and it's not even close,
right?
Which, I mean, the NFL, like you said, they know they're king, they know they're the best, so whatever they want to do, they're going to do. But at the same time, I don't know if it's any type of relationship between the NFL and college football, or some of those TV magnates or whatever that decide between NFL games and college games and like, oh, well, we're going to carry this one and this game's going to get more ratings. But it just feels like, the NFL's just deciding, since they are bigger, they're just going to be the bully and take all the eyes away from every other sport. I don't know if there's any type of, I know it's a competition, but I don't know if there's any type of we're just going to crush you now.
Well, and I hope that it never, as a college football fan, first and foremost, and plenty of people like the NFL more. A lot of people around here, Nebraska football fans like college football more. I'm one of those people. I just hope, and right now, I don't know if it's a handshake agreement or just kind of a acknowledging, because college football is helpful to the NFL in that it is a built-in minor league system. They don't, people for years said, well, why don't they have have some sort of minor leagues in the NFL? They already do it. It's built in. You have stars. College football, I mean, we can kind of say, well, it's not what the NFL rating is ratings-wise, and it's not, but it's still football. And football is, college football is more powerful as far as getting eyeballs than a lot of professional sports across the country. So if you kind of label it as its own sport, NFL and college football, NFL is number one by a long shot, but college football might be number two. I mean, it's right up there. Of course, internationally, you're kind of talking soccer, but as far as the United States,
the other football,
right? Let's bring in another football. So so it's. I just hope that you never get to the case in what they're doing now. And again, taking over Christmas Day, taking over Black Friday, you can kind of say, I don't think this will ever happen, but they're making their moves to get more ratings or when they can designate their games. Right now, the NFL holds off until college football is done before they put 1 or 2 games on Saturday. I hope that stays. I hope that they don't eventually try to take over or have 2 or 3 games on our college football Saturdays in September and October.
Like they already have Thursdays and Mondays. Like I don't know why you would want to take Saturdays as well. More football isn't a bad thing, but yeah, I like college. Like Saturday is for college football.
Yeah,
Thursday, Monday, and Sunday are for professional football. Even though Thursday games are usually terrible. At least last year they were all terrible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be sad if the NFL just decides to be the bully on the playground and just starts shoving everybody around and just saying, this is what you need to do because we're going to take this day and this is what we want. I want the slide. You go play with the swings. I don't. You can play on Wednesdays now before we decide. You know what? Wednesday looks pretty cool too.
Yeah. How soon until the MAC is worried about the NFL taking over their time slot?
Yeah. Is MACtion ever worried? See, that's what the MAC did a smart thing. They're like, we're going to play in the middle of the week. The NFL's not going to play in the middle of the week.
That'd be ridiculous.
They're not going to do it. And then one day they're going to be like, you know what? We play on Mondays. Why not play on Tuesdays?
Well, the NFL too is loosening up like their restrictions as far as TV partners, as far as like everybody's got to play a primetime game.
Well, now there are teams that are going to play twice on Thursdays.
Yeah, their teams can play twice
on
Thursdays.
The Patriots played twice on Thursdays last year. Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's a changing, ever evolving world, and the NFL again is getting out in front of it and doing their best to even boost their magnificent ratings even more. But it is kind of going to take a shot at everybody else, and I just hope as a college football fan that it doesn't kind of overtake and overshadow college football even on Black Friday. And for me, it's not, but for many it might. I suppose maybe that that might not matter as much because for me, I'm always thinking college football Black Friday, and that's rivalry weekend. So I think college football the whole weekend. Mm-hmm. So it kind of is what it is. That'll be fun to. Either way, at least, have another game. If they did it at night, I wouldn't be worried at all. Nebraska never plays on Black Friday at night. Why don't they just do it at night?
See, but Michigan, Ohio State is that, well, it's not Black Friday, but
the next day,
that Saturday, until they decide to take those Saturdays. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's just a weird thing in the NFL. That's just a random week for the NFL. It's close to the end of the season, but even then, it's still not the end of the season. Like, it's not, win and you're in the playoffs usually in that week. So, but for college football, like you said, it's rivalry weekend, Black Friday. Like Oregon State.
Civil War.
Not the Civil War anymore.
No,
they don't call it that anymore.
But they do. Like that's like the Georgia and Florida world's largest cocktail party. It's like, oh, these are college students. We're not going to call it that anymore. Like, yeah,
it's like,
but that's still what it is.
They still do.
Yeah,
like the Red River Shootout.
Red
River
Rivalry.
Rivalry, whatever you're going to call it.
Shootout.
Yeah, whatever you're going to call it now. Like that's whatever it was called before. That's what it's going to be called. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. It's I don't know.
And part of the reason why, from everything has to be so politically correct, to why Nebraska's newly formed Big Ten trophies are called Heroes and Freedom, because you can never. Eventually, you're never going to have a problem.
What are you going to have a problem with your heroes?
That's right. There's never going to be a problem with, well, you can't say heroes anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is freedom too terrible for you?
Oh, but that doesn't make the greatest rivalries. The greatest rivalries are something called the Civil War, the Holy War, something like that.
The $5 bits of broken chair trophy.
Yeah, the greatest one, of course, the $5 bits of broken chair trophy.
And apparently, we are back on the air. So we don't have to worry about playing commercials via Adobe anymore.
There we go.
Anybody that's listening on the radio or via the streams or anything like that, welcome in.
Hey,
this is a Ticket Water Cooler. The captain got cut short. Sorry about that. But I am going to ask Bach to run for a second. Not run, but talk for a second while I try and figure things out on this end.
All right. We'll get that figured out. And some other things that we're kind of looking at across college football. The Big Ten now strongly considering removing its requirement for league teams to play a Power 5 non-conference team annually starting in 2024. This according to Action Network. The Big Ten had kind of, put this in place. And of course, it was also playing a 9-game conference schedule. So I guess the idea there is that the Big Ten is going to be difficult enough. And with the college football playoff expanding to 12 teams, USC, UCLA, of course, joining, that you don't necessarily have to schedule a tough Power 5 non-conference team. Michigan, for what it's worth, had a game canceled this upcoming year. And had to kind of switch that around. So they don't have a Power 5 team in their schedule this upcoming season. So Michigan somehow has already found a way to get this out of the way. But it's just kind of interesting. And I think, I still prefer having a strong non-con schedule. I understand that the Big Ten is going to get tougher. You have 9 conference games as opposed to the SEC's 8. But I guess for me, I kind of always look forward to what Nebraska's been scheduling in recent years, especially the Colorados, the home and home with Colorados, the home and homes with Oklahoma. When they branch out, they do of course they've done UCLA's, Tennessee's. Those are fun games to look forward to that I don't necessarily think have to be reserved for if you are one of the 12 teams to make the playoffs, that you get to play one of those teams. So I don't know. I think there's still going to be a lot of money involved in getting a good Power 5 non-conference team annually, as part of your schedule. So I'm not worried that it's necessarily going to go away. But if you look at Michigan's schedule, it leaves a little bit to be desired for the non-con. So I don't want to see too many of that. I think maybe you'll have, maybe a first-year head coach here and there, soft schedule. Like that. Kansas State actually did this for years under Bill Snyder before they got going, was kind of soft non-con schedule to get some wins going. And so, but I hope that this is not the end of good non-con football.
Yeah, I understand it, trying to get into the college football playoff and avoid any unnecessary losses out of conference. But yeah, like you said, it with the college football playoff expanding, there isn't going to be really any need to have a stronger strength of schedule if you are one of those top teams that kind of figures that you're going to win out through your conference schedule, maybe lose one game. You'll probably still get in if you're Big Ten SEC school. So scheduling a difficult team out of conference just seems unnecessary, but I'm in agreement with you. I really hope that with the expansion of the playoff that it doesn't take away from those more difficult non-con schedules, and not just difficult, but just good football. Maybe Alabama's regretting scheduling. I doubt they're regretting it, but scheduling a Wisconsin for a non-con game as opposed to deciding to schedule a Florida Atlantic or a University of Alabama Birmingham. You're not going to want to schedule any more of those Power 5 schools, just because if you do lose that and then you lose one more game in your conference, again, even with the expanded playoff, a team like Alabama probably doesn't have to worry about that. But a team like, I don't know, Florida, I guess, where they're usually pretty solid, but if they lose 2 games, they lose to, let's say, Florida State, and then they lose to Georgia in the conference. Maybe they miss out on the college football playoff because Ohio State and Michigan only have one loss, and it's to some really good opponents. And you get those 2 in, you get some ACC teams and what have you. So I'm hoping the non-con schedules stay good, and you get those like Chick-fil-A kickoff games with Alabama and Texas in Jerry World. But I hope those games are better and Texas doesn't just get blown out, or USC doesn't get blown out when they play.
No, it usually happens when you play Alabama early in the season. I don't think it will necessarily be the end of those things, but I think it's going to lighten up the schedule for some teams. Maybe give your first year head coaches, maybe even Nebraska, this year would like to avoid a Power 5 team. Kind of do, because Colorado's the closest thing to not being a Power 5 team that's in the Power 5, because they only won 1 game last year and they have a completely new roster. So
I don't think first year Matt Rule in Nebraska wants to play an Oklahoma.
No, you don't want to walk into that necessarily.
That'd be unnecessary.
Power 5, by the way, the term Power 5 and Power 6, which is what the Atlantic Conference, or excuse me, the American Conference used to embrace, being kind of the 6th conference. They're not trying to get rid of that, partially probably because the American looks nothing like it did a few years ago. They're losing all their powers, but they want to drop the Power 5 and Group of 5 type of monikers. Basically, because it leaves them out.
They're just like, hey, we feel excluded.
Yeah.
Please help us.
It's like we're no longer feel like we're the 6th best conference. So let's get rid of those terms.
Hey, well, wait a minute.
Yeah, well, good luck with that. All right, let's take a quick break here on the Ticket Water Cooler. We're back on the radio. We're back streaming. We're ready to roll. We'll go for our second segment of the Ticket Water Cooler. Some Husker football, some NBA, some just NFL, college football notes, all that stuff coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is former Husker Kenny Wilhite. Some kids worry about basic math. Others worry about basic needs. In Lincoln, 132 kids are receiving intensive support from each team. Give to Feeders makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day on May 24th, your gift goes even further. Go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars to support Lincolns. That's givetolincoln.com, helping kids through Cedars.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alteration. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Walters Painting Incorporated salutes our Vietnam veterans for Memorial Day, May 29th. Our Vietnam veterans fought in a difficult, complex war. Please offer the long overdue respect they deserve. Jeff Walters of Walters Painting Incorporated is your interior, exterior, commercial, and residential painter. He doesn't cut corners, he paints them. To book an estimate, visit walterspainting.com or call 402-730-1781.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides for internet, TV, and services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 365 days a year, and a monthly bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
It's May, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 40th and Layton and find your next ride. Summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of the funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule a catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Shopping for a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work all for you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote today or find us online at brokersinsurancenE.com.
Springtime is here, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
This is Jay Foreman. I wore gear to protect my health on the football field, and I'm protecting it now by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Get up to date while it's still and stay protected. Learn more at healthylincoln.org.
The days of internet contracts and heavy fine print are over. It's time to experience hassle-free service with no contracts or hidden fees. That's the Allo promise. Allo Communications provides fiber internet, TV, and phone services with fair and no-nonsense pricing. All backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, 24/7 local support 160 days a year, and a month bill you can count on. Don't settle for gimmicks. Settle for hassle-free with Allo. Visit us at allofiber.com/hassle-free.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back. Ticket Water Cooler here on 93.7 The Ticket. We're back on the airwaves after a technical snafu, but thank you for sticking with us on the Starter Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. But we are back on the radio waves, back on the streaming waves, back on your app, back on your website, back on all of that. So hop on over to that if you were listening on Facebook, YouTube, or wherever. Or just stay on there, actually, because it'd be nice. You can see our beautiful faces as well while you're on there.
Like and subscribe to every one of them.
Yeah.
Go to each one of them, like and subscribe, comment, give us a 5-star review.
Follow us on Facebook.
That's
subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and follow us on Twitter. And then retweet the video and all of that. Click the little bell on each of those so you get notified every time we go live.
Oh, yeah.
So every time we go live, every different show, you'll be like, oh, hey, let me go watch that real quick.
And if you do all that, we'll give you a gold star.
Sticker. Not a real gold star.
Not a real one.
But
like
maybe a sticker?
Yeah.
Maybe if you stop by, we'll give you a sticker. Or we'll just give you a nice...
to prove it.
Yeah, well, you have to prove you have to have all of that. Or we'll give you a nice, crisp high five.
Yeah, that's
one of those.
Pretty good.
Bach will give you a hug.
Yeah, I'll give you a hug.
There you go.
I don't like touching people too much.
I was just throwing that one out there. Yeah, exactly. How many people can say that they've hugged Bach?
That's
not
right.
a lot.
Not that many. I don't hug people.
So if you do all of those things, you can get a hug from Bach. Very, very prestigious.
That's right. Doesn't happen too often. I would have mentioned this because I think it was kind of strange. Brady Hoke, of course, is an example of a guy who was at San Diego State. Left for greener pastures, when became the coach at Michigan, of course, and then was brought back as San Diego State's defensive line coach. I always thought that was kind of weird. We had a similar situation with Doc Sadler, of course, where he was Nebraska's coach, had to be let go, came back as an assistant later. So we've seen these things happen before. And of course, Brady Hoke is now San Diego State's head coach. So
full circle.
Full circle went back around for him. So we've kind of seen that.
San Diego State should play Michigan.
That would be kind of cool, actually. I wonder if they probably should schedule each other. But I don't know if Michigan would want any part of Brady Hoke at this point. Or maybe it's the other way around. So that's rare. You don't see it too often, and it's kind of cool when it happens. I think we've caught on to something a little bit even more rare within Virginia Tech's football program. Brent Pry is now working on even better recruiting. He announced not too long ago the addition of James Johnson as the director of high school relations. James Johnson's a pretty common name. That might not be their former basketball coach. It is. James Johnson, the former Hokies men's basketball coach, is now part of the football staff as the director of high school relations.
What?
it's very confusing. James Johnson, I think, only coached 2 years. He was kind of an assistant that took over for. I have to go back and look at it. I mean, it's Virginia Tech basketball. Nobody knows except for Nate about.
Should
this,
we
so.
call Nate?
We should probably call Nate about it because we don't know exactly about James Johnson. I'd be quite honest with you, don't remember his tenure.
I'm gonna text him and see if he wants to call in.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Maybe we can get more context about that. It's always good to hear from Nate too. But so James Johnson was the Virginia Tech coach from 2012 to 2014, and has since taken jobs. He was at Miami as a basketball ops, was an assistant for 2017 to 2022 with North Carolina State, but now trying to help out the football team. I suppose director of high school admissions, he's got, you're not exactly asking him. I don't know if he is too much of a football guy, but to do X's and O's there as much, just relate with recruiting.
I mean, I guess, but even then it's like, hey, you should come play football at Virginia Tech. And it's like, okay, who are you? We're like, I was the basketball coach at Virginia Tech for all. We're like, why would I play football at Virginia Tech being recruited? You're like kind of being recruited by a basketball coach to play football. I don't understand it. It's kind of weird.
It's confusing.
But I guess,
like
Virginia
Tech
take
care of their own, I guess.
It's just high school relations. So it's just, he has a previous relationship with the high schools in the area. Yeah. Being the former basketball coach, he went around and talked to the high schools about recruiting their basketball talent, I assume. So it's not like he doesn't know the hallways and the athletic directors at those places. He might not know the football coaches, but he knows his way around the area and the high schools. So he's a familiar face at least.
Yeah. But for what it's worth, now I look at his tenure at Virginia Tech. The reason it only lasted 2 years is because he was 6-30 in conference play. Overall, 22-41.
No,
that's really bad.
That's very bad. Maybe he didn't recruit the high schools.
yeah.
I don't know how good the high schools around Blacksburg
his relationship
are,
can't be too great with him.
Like, this guy's back.
I just thought that was very strange. Never seen anything like that happen before, but yeah, I mean, that perhaps it'll work, and more power to Brent Pry and being innovative, I suppose.
Good on you
in your choices. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
You do you, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Can you imagine Tim Miles coming back and working under right. Matt Rule as the director of high school relations?
But Tim Miles is such like a likable guy.
Tim Miles actually was very liked by the high school, so that would know, and he didn't have a terrible record at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Doc Sadler coming back.
Would you rather have Tim Miles, Doc Sadler, or Barry Collier? Danny Nee. Oh, yes. Danny Nee. Perfect for high schoolers, I've always said.
Yep,
high school
relations. The high schoolers love Danny.
Yes, big Danny Nee guys. No, but I think Tim Miles might work best out of all. Although Barry Collier does have a pretty good track record as far as administratively.
Sure. I would say, if the worst possible thing for the basketball team, well, I don't know about worst possible thing. If a bad thing for the basketball team and Fred Hoiberg gets fired, do you think they bring him back to be the high school relations guy for the football team?
For the football team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's a name. Yeah, it'd be kind of cool to meet Fred Hoiberg while you're filling some stuff out.
He's just like, hey, come play for Matt Rule.
It's very strange, though, that's like, so Brent Pry offering the job, already weird, but for Johnson to accept the job, you got to kind of swallow your ego a little bit.
I mean, it's a job. I wonder how much it pays.
Yeah, I don't know.
What was he doing before?
Not as much. He was just like I said, he was just an assistant. I got to pull it up again because I closed it out. He was an assistant for, I think Miami was one of his jobs.
Mm-hmm.
The last 5 years, 2017 to 2022, an assistant for North Carolina State. So he just likes to hang around the ACC area, and
he's getting maybe he's getting better gear.
Yeah,
you get more gear with the. I think you get
thing.
More gear with the football team than the basketball team. So I think that's
yeah.
That's so I think he's just he has some leftover Virginia Tech stuff, and he's like, why not? We'll go back. We'll get some more.
I mean, maybe he just really loved his time in Blacksburg. I mean, he was there not just as a head coach, but as an assistant for 5 years. So 7 years total.
I would say we could ask DP, but I think he's more of a Virginia guy.
Yeah, he's not a big fan of the Hokies, I don't think
so. Well, I think he's a big fan of just everybody in Virginia.
Everything in Virginia?
If he chose one. Well, first, I think it'd be VCU.
Yeah,
and then I think it'd be Virginia.
That's interesting. I didn't know. I just figured, I suppose, because of Nate's hatred for Virginia as a Virginia Tech guy,
that it would
be.
I think
shared.
DP's just a big Virginia guy.
Just
he's a big DMV guy. Also,
yeah,
that's his thing.
Yeah,
DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's where he's a fan of that.
And he's out at what is it, Orlando now?
Is he?
I don't Orlando. Yeah, he's traveling for the next UFC event.
Oh, he left again?
Yeah.
He goes to
Charlotte.
UFC
Maybe
stuff.
it's Charlotte.
I thought he was just there.
Let me look it up. I can't remember. He tweeted out this morning. But
I'm pretty sure he was just there
in Charlotte
for a fight. Yeah. Because he said that he just had some people that he had that he knew there from his time in Charlotte before when he was with the Panthers and all that. So he was going around seeing some old friends.
May 13th. That would be Saturday.
Yeah. No, he hasn't left yet.
He said so. UFC returns to Charlotte May 13th. He's at least excited about it. Maybe he didn't leave.
Yeah, no, he hasn't left. Yeah, no, he definitely hasn't left yet.
Okay.
He'll probably leave like Friday.
Okay.
Like Friday morning.
Yeah.
And he gets there, he goes with the weigh-ins and everything.
Yeah, he tweeted out a picture of like the skyline, and it clearly has like graphics on it. And for some reason, my mind was just like, "Oh, he's there! He's got to be there."
Wow!
There's no other way to get a picture of Charlotte if you're not there.
Not at all.
So
it's impossible to get pictures of places unless you're there.
Yeah. I thought that means he's there. I don't know why that went to my. That's where I landed, but. So be it. Some other news in the sports world. How about DJ Rodman, son of Dennis Rodman, transferring to USC for 1 year to play with Bronny? You're going to have a Rodman and a Bron.
Where was he at before?
He's at Washington State.
Okay.
And
was he good?
He started. He's not, he's not his father, and he's not an all-conference player or anything like that. But he did start several games from this last year. And the other thing about USC too is Bronny's going to get all the headlines, but they also have like the number one guy in the class in Isaiah Collier. So between Bronny, Collier, and throwing a Rodman, USC should be pretty fun to watch.
You think Bronny went there because of Collier?
Perhaps.
Or do you think Collier went there because of Bronny?
I'm not sure. I didn't look into the timeline of when
well,
they
maybe
committed.
he knew. Maybe they just they told each other.
Peer recruiting.
Yeah, he just knew that Bronny was going to go there, so he committed first.
Yes.
He's like, I'm going to get my name out there first. I'm going to be more popular.
Isn't it kind of weird that Dennis, with this and Dennis Rodman's son,
that Dennis Rodman has a son the same age as LeBron James?
No. By the way, Robert De Niro, proud new father at the age of 79. I don't know. If you saw that.
That's not weird.
That's kind of strange.
What's it like his seventh child with a? I read it. It was like seventh child with like a fifth different woman.
Yeah, it could be.
Did you see? So with that, Chili's, like the restaurant.
Yeah, Chili's.
Quote tweeted that and said, "He's coming for you," and tagged Nick Cannon.
Oh no! Jeez, Chili's is bumping themselves right into the middle of something there.
They were just like, "Yeah, we're the new Wendy's."
But
I saw that. I go, "What in the world?"
We're the new Wendy's. I like that.
What is happening, Chili's?
I guess what I was thinking with Rodman's son is between Rodman, Pippen, and Jordan. I think Rodman's, Pippen's son was probably the best. Rodman's son might be right there, and then Michael Jordan's sons. Aren't outside of dating Pippen's mom. No, Pippen's ex-wife, right? Yeah. Well, Scottie Pippen Jr.'s mom.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're
There's
not
too
wrong.
much going on there. It's confusing.
There's a lot of overlap.
Yes. But I guess what I'm trying to say is
the best player on those Bulls teams didn't have the best children.
Didn't have the best kids. Yeah, which is surprising.
In terms of basketball.
Yes.
Not just people. In terms of basketball.
And as far as people, date who you want, right?
Yeah. Look, you do you, man. Ain't my problem.
Yeah.
It's none of my business.
We were talking about the other day. He was probably at the age where he knew Scottie Pippen, and Larsa Pippen growing up, and
he definitely
that
did.
might have been like his crush. And then when you grow up and you get a chance to be with your crush,
your mom's so hot.
Yeah, it's
that awkward moment.
Who didn't hang up whatever girl you hung up in your as a poster in your room or whatever. And I don't know if everybody did, but you get what I'm saying. Who wouldn't get the chance to hang out with them when you're an adult?
I guess.
Who wouldn't want to?
You're a
little bit older, but
your friends. Well, I don't even know if they were friends, but that's your dad's friend's ex-wife.
Yes. Very strange.
That makes it weird.
It does make it a little weird.
Not as weird as just your mom's your friend's mom, but still weird. It's all weird. Why are we talking about this?
I don't know. It's something interesting. Maybe we can break off for a little bit.
I think Nathan's gonna call.
Is he really?
He texted back. He said, "Do you want me to call you?" So now I'm just waiting for the phone to ring.
I hope he does. All right, let's take a break. Maybe we'll get Nathan to call, and we'll figure out about the basketball guy who's now on the football staff. Also, some notes on Nebraska basketball, a note of interest there. Also, NBA, and we'll bring in Nick for the crossover coming up next here on the Ticket Water Cooler 93.7 The Ticket.
This is your High School Minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In coaching news, Lincoln West announced Farrell McGee as its new varsity boys basketball coach. Switching to baseball, districts is right around the corner, starting Friday on May 5th. Lincoln East will be the only team to claim a number 1 seed for Class A districts. They will take on the winner of Omaha North and Norfolk. Lincoln Southeast play Omaha West Side in the A1 district. Lincoln Northwest will play Grand Island sitting in the A2 district. Lincoln North Star will face Omaha Northwest, and Lincoln Southwest faces Columbus in the A3 district. Lincoln Pies to 10th plays Papillion Vista in the A4, and Lincoln High plays Northern North in the A5 district. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Constructors is now hiring all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Some kids worry about making the sports team. Others about where they'll sleep tonight. In Lincoln, 300 kids are in need of a safe and loving home. Cedars is here for them, but we do need your help. A gift to Cedars makes an immediate impact on Lincoln's kids. And on Give to Lincoln Day, your gift goes even further. I'm Jim, president of the Cedars organization, and I'm asking you to go to givetolincoln.com to make your gift to Cedars and support Lincoln's kids today.
Walters Paint Incorporated salutes our Vietnam veterans for Memorial Day, May 29th. Our Vietnam veterans fought in a difficult, complex war. Please offer the long overdue respect they deserve. Jeff Walters of Walters Painting Incorporated is your interior, exterior, commercial, and residential painter. He doesn't cut corners, he paints them. To book an estimate, visit walterspainting.com or call 402-730-1781.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we are celebrating a record sales month in April, and we're going to let it roll and crank up in the month of May. We have some big discounts and special interest rates going on this month on selected new in-stock Sierras and Silverados. Buy a new Silverado or Sierra, get $3,000 or 1.9% interest. You heard right, $3,000 off for 1.9% interest. We have outstanding specials on all of our new and pre-owned GM certified units. So stop on in and see us or check us out online at coppellcars.com. You'll be glad you did. New discount must trade in and finance with the roof credit.
Dive into good times and great savings when you take advantage of the above-ground swimming pool sale happening now at Bonzal Pool and Spa. All in-stock swimming pools are 50% off through the end of May while supplies last. You don't want to miss out on this hot deal. Visit our showroom at 33rd and Pioneers today. Learn more about the promotion at bonzalpool.com. Bonzal Pool and Spa, every day made better.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now now plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, we're back here on the Ticket Water Cooler, and no crossover today with Nick. He's out collecting bugs again, probably. He's the bug guy around here. But we are going to have a reunion of sorts with a Ticket Water Cooler Hall of Famer and Nate Brennan, because there's some Virginia Tech news we got to get straightened out here. Nate, are you there?
What's going on, guys? I feel honored to not only be a guest on your show, not a former member of the Ticket Water Cooler, but in fact a Hall of Famer.
That's correct.
Round of applause to me for that.
That's right. You're the first inductee into the Ticket Water Cooler Hall of Fame. So congratulations for all the work that you've put in. We were talking about Virginia Tech and just kind of this strange situation that's going on with James Johnson. A lot of questions to ask here, but James Johnson, former basketball coach, now joining the football staff. How did we get here?
To be entirely honest with you guys, you are probably just as confused as I am. I don't really know too much about his background on the football side of things. I know he was a part of the basketball program for a decent amount of time. I know that for what it's worth, he is a good recruiter, and it sounds like his specialty is going to be high school relations and in the recruiting side of things. So I guess that works. He already has those Virginia connections and relationships, which is really a focus on both sports. But yeah, this one's a bit of a head scratcher. And if you go on Virginia Tech Twitter, there's some pretty funny comments too if you're looking for some mid-afternoon comedy.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Is how well did he recruit in the Virginia or in the Blacksburg area for them to put him in charge of high school relations for a sport that he didn't coach?
Again, I just think it's so funny when you guys word it that way, because that's quite literally what it is. It's like, oh, a sport you didn't coach, you coach another sport. All right, we'll bring you back. I mean, for what it's worth, Virginia Tech has always, for the most part, recruited pretty well in the state, whether that be basketball, football. I know baseball has really had a resurgence recently too, recruiting in state. So who knows, man? I mean, like, if there's a program that's in worse disarray than Nebraska, it's probably Virginia Tech. So let's start throwing stuff at a dartboard and seeing what sticks. Honestly, why?
Oh, no.
Goodness gracious.
That sounds like Nebraska last year. How are you feeling about Brent Pry? Is this, I know the year one didn't go as you wanted it to. Is this, does a move like this worry you more?
I mean, I wouldn't say that it worries me. I mean, when you talk about moving a program forward and kind of starting from scratch, as we all know in Nebraska and the Scott Frost era, which unfortunately came to a pretty tough end there at the end, it takes time, and there's going to have to be patience within the fan base, but that time isn't forever, right? I mean, you reach a breaking point and you reach a time where, okay, we need to see results or something needs to seriously change. And Unfortunately for Virginia Tech, they don't really have the Nebraska excuse of saying, okay, we play in the Big Ten. It's a physical conference. It's going to take probably even more time because it is one of the more elite conferences in college football. For crying out loud, you're playing in the ACC. I mean, outside of Clemson and now Florida State, maybe you can include Miami, who's still never back. I mean, something needs to change. It needs to change fast. It's a shame that guy over there that coaches for South Carolina didn't want to coach for Virginia Tech, because that would have been pretty cool, and it would have been a pretty good hire.
Nathan, I have a question for you regarding the Kansas City Chiefs now.
Okay, let's do it.
Will you be traveling with them?
I don't know if I'm going to be traveling with the Chiefs. I do plan on going to a couple games in Arrowhead, which is going to be a blast. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing a winning team because, as you guys know, here in Kansas City, we are proud fans of the Kansas City Royals. And as someone who considers themselves a fair weather home fan, it works honestly better when the Royals are bad because tickets are even cheaper. I mean, I got into one game for $6, and that's including fees. So it worked out perfectly for me. But it is somewhat depressing, and I got to give a shout out to Sports Talk Radio 610 here in Kansas City. Those guys talk about the Royals every single day because, truthfully, there's nothing else to really talk about outside of Chiefs offseason news. And it is depressing. It is absolutely terrible. In Nebraska, luckily, we only had to talk about a depressing season for only 12 games. These guys have 162 in it, so you got to keep moving along. It's only going to get worse before it gets better. But, hey, it works out well for me because I'm going to games on the cheap.
But are you going to go to Frankfurt?
I will probably not.
Dang it! Get your passport. Come on, your station.
I did get my passport. There is an opportunity.
Your station needs you. I'll send you over to Germany.
Get this guy off the air.
Uh-oh.
Well, I don't think he heard you.
Nate?
I heard him.
He's like, I don't care. I don't care about you.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, guys? I hear that you're coming up for a Royals game soon. You guys need to come make some trip. You can watch the Royals get crushed by like 7 runs.
We do need to do that, but right now Nick is busy collecting bugs. Nick's a bug catcher now.
If you open up this box that's to my left, you'll see 30 insects.
Oh my goodness.
That's your thing?
Wait.
That's my project, yeah.
What?
I had to run home. So Nate, I'm taking this entomology class, and I shout out to the fine listeners, because I just got back from a listener named Scott, his house, who caught a mosquito for me earlier.
Oh, wow. That's a tough catch.
Yeah. So I've collected 30 insects for my class here.
You actually collect? They are still alive.
No, they're not
he kills
alive
them.
anymore.
He doesn't squish them though because he needs to pin them.
No, yeah, we have to pin them, and you lose points if there's like the wings are broken or if they're losing a limb. You lose points. So you got to catch them carefully, put them in the freezer, and then pin them before they dry up.
Look at that. That's what the fine journalism degree at the university.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Nate, I do have a question too for you, because I know that you were pretty high on Nebraska last year. I'd like to get people going. I've kind of, and I've heard a few, there's, Will Compton's out there calling for Nebraska to get 9 wins. How do you feel about Nebraska this upcoming season? And if I may say that maybe you shouldn't, I don't necessarily like, as you know, I come in with lower expectations. I don't know if we should be saying 8 or 9 wins should be the expectation, because then if they do achieve that, I don't know if we'll be appreciating it enough. I think it's a tough kind of situation Matt Rule's inheriting.
I think it's a very tough situation because I think that if you look at the program as Nebraska, and I'm assuming you guys talk about it every day, I don't think they're behind like you would normally assume that a previous 4-win season before that 3-win, a team that hasn't made a bowl game in 5 years. They're really not as far back as you would assume that they would be, given all the circumstances and everything that's happened. I think that 8 or 9 is probably what I'm going to predict, but if my predictions are any indication of what's going to happen, it's not going to happen. So I think that realistically, you should want 6. I don't think a bowl game is out of question here. I think you should be competing for a bowl game. I think you should be competitive in the Big Ten, to be entirely honest with you. But again, like I said with Virginia Tech, let's show a little bit of patience. Let's show some grace. It is still a new coaching staff. It's a new team. It's going to take some time. But I will say that I am very confident, and I will probably guarantee 10 wins here in a couple weeks.
Perfect.
Now, Nate, don't forget, 2 years ago, prior to the spring game, and you know where I'm going for this, we were riding in an Uber downtown to Tipsy Tina's for the pregame show, and we looked at each other and said, why can't Nebraska go to the Orange Bowl? and they proceeded to go 4-8.
Well, I tell you what, though, I'm having that same question right now. Someone tell me right now why Nebraska can't go to the Orange Bowl.
Well, you see, they have 3 quarterbacks, and only one of them has starting experience.
And he turns over the football a lot.
But he can run fast.
Ah, dang it, you got me there.
All right, yep.
See, there we go.
Nate, are you going to make it back up for a Nebraska basketball game only if Keisei Tamanaga returns?
No, that's the hard-hitting journalism you can only get at 93.7 ticket. You know what, Fox? For your sake, if Keisei Tamanaga returns, I'll buy season tickets.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, that sounds good.
Wait. You know he's coming back, right, Nate?
Is that official?
Well,
it's either NBA or Nebraska,
and he wasn't invited to the draft combine.
All right, looks like I'm buying.
All right, we'll be waiting. We'll be waiting for that.
Meet your newest season ticket holder.
Yeah, buy the season
Doesn't
tickets, and
even live in
anytime you can't get up, just we'll give them away.
Wait, the American Nightmare says on the text line that it is a Beetle for me.
Oh, there you go. You don't have a Beetle yet?
Well, I mean, I have like 4 Beetles, but I
You
can
have
always
another
use
Beetle.
more.
We are 100% going to show that bug collection on the air during the happy hour.
I want to look.
So everybody be prepared. We're not going to hold it. We're going to turn this camera down.
Okay, down.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
We're going to hit the out music.
Nate, why'd they call you?
We were talking about. Well, I was asked if I was going to go to the Chiefs game in Germany.
No.
But then originally we were talking about Virginia Tech and their chaotic coaching situation.
Yeah, I really wish Justin Fuente was still the coach.
I have no words for you.
No, we're talking about James Johnson, a former Virginia Tech basketball coach, being a high school relations
for the football team.
For the football team.
He's a football guy now. Football guy.
From basketball to football. It makes perfect sense. But thank you so much, Nate.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, that'll wrap it up for
That
the
was
Ticket
Nate
Water
Brennan.
Cooler. That was Nate Brennan.
This
of
is
course,
backwards here.
Yeah, it's a little bit backwards. We were
Yeah, it's fine.
confused
Rico's
by the
running the
day.
board.
Yeah,
fine.
Rico's
Everything's
running
fine.
the board. But happy hour coming up next. Plenty to talk about. If you missed a little bit of sports talk this afternoon, we were down, but now we're back and running. Happy hour ready to catch you up, and of course, more bugs coming up next as well. Right?
Yeah. Special announcement from the Lincoln Visitors Convention or whatever's going on downtown where Matt Rule is speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think Matt Rule might be listening to us.
Ooh.
Because a little birdie told me that he's mentioned twice about students collecting bugs.
There you go.
So here we go.
All right, happy hour coming up next.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Free, because the cash checking account in and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's open your Kasasa account online or stop into any of our Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Hey, CNC machinists, do you feel like you're in a dead-end job with your boss hovering over your shoulder? That's so annoying. Not at Garner Industries. We provide the opportunity and trust our CNC machinists to bring the talent. I'm Bob Williams, HR Director at Garner Industries, and we are looking for new team members in our CNC department. At Garner Industries, you'll work in a clean, climate-controlled, and safe environment with team members who want to see you succeed. You will also enjoy 4-day work weeks, great benefits, and a positive working culture. Interested? Apply on our career page at garnerindustries.com.
Tailored Life is now open in Bennett. Make the short drive down Highway 2 for tons of items for your home, for both indoors and outdoors. Check out their variety of potted trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and colorful annuals. Plus, porch pots and landscape lighting to enhance the outside of your home. Don't forget their home goods for indoors, plus convenient drinks and snacks, most which are produced locally. Visit Tailored Life today in Bennett and stay tuned to their Facebook page at Tailored Life 360 for food truck events coming up.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, If I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
We'll see a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms today with an afternoon high of 82. Southeast winds at around 15 to 20. Mostly cloudy tonight with the low dropping down to around 62. We'll have a better chance of showers and thunderstorms, especially late in the day tomorrow, as we reach up to a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grill hot dog, and any version of their funky